Okay, so just reviewing, this is representational. We're in part 3 now of chapter 2. Representational, abstract, simplified. Okay, so it's distorted, exaggerated, or simplified in the natural world to provide essence or universality. Okay, stylized is artwork that conforms to a preset style or set of conventions for depicting the world. Okay, this was very abstract, right? Highly abstracted, Louise Bourgeois. Then we're going to get into form and content, but let me get into this quickly. Stylization. If you notice with the Egyptians, it's always a silhouette face, but the shoulders and the body are facing pretty much forward. The shoulders are forward, the torso's sideways, that's his belly button, and that's his posterior there. So that's kind of sideways. The knees are sideways, the feet are sideways, but the shoulders are facing forward. Same is true for the female figure. But at any rate, that is stylization, and the fingers are also stylized. Okay, now I'm going to go back to form and content. Form is how it looks, what color it is, what materials were used, that kind of thing. Content is what is it about? Okay, it's the subject matter and the message. Okay, last one on abstraction is Vasily Kandinsky. This is Melodious. This is actually him in 1924 attempting to take a piece of music and translate it into a visual form. Now this is considered representational still. It's not objective or non-objective. It is abstract. Okay. All right, so now we're going to get into exploring the form and content of two Henri Matisse paintings. These are in your book, image, I think my numbers are wrong here, 225 and 226. This is from the 10th edition, my apologies. So this is very similar. If you look at these two images, it's actually compositionally very similar. It is the same place. This is Matisse's home, and he's looking out the same window. Can you guys see that sort of iron scroll there, iron scroll there? Looking at the same window, but the piano lesson versus the music lesson has a very different mood, very different feel. The piano lesson is very stark, and you can see this guy is sort of feeling like he's starting to disappear. The metronome is heavy there. The piano teacher, which is almost like a drawing or a painting, that is actually that painting, but at any rate, it's supposed to kind of look like this sort of ominous painted out figure. And the colors are quite gray and dark for the most part. And the kid's looking really stressed out at the piano lesson, right? And then versus the music lesson, the whole family's there. This is this relaxed situation. The same child is fully drawn. Again, this is somewhat abstract. And there's all these moments of pleasure. The metronome is not to be seen. There's another violin. Dad or brother or someone might just start playing at any moment. There's somebody outside enjoying a book or dozing off. Some sculpture, the garden's fully fleshed out. Okay, so compositionally, these are very similar. Colors, somewhat similar. The piano top is the same pink. The grays are somewhat true. Underlying here, we have the same gray on this side over here. So the colors, the type of painting, the style are very similar. What is different is the mood, the content, the subject matter. So the content of the two is maybe frustration in this piece, and this one is more toward joy. All right. So materials and techniques, I'm going to pass on that because you can read that one. When we get into carving, the kiss, this is marble. So the content of this piece is the kiss. It's pretty simple. They're interacting. A couple is coming together, embracing one another, and that is the content. The form is the sculpture, and it's made out of marble, okay, and it's carving. Iconography, we talked about this a wee bit so far, but iconography are symbols, and it requires the cultural or beliefs, or sometimes it's a time sensitive issue. Cultures do change, especially our Western culture. There's a lot of symbols in this particular paintings, a lot of iconography. There's a mirror here as a reflection. There's a single flame here in a chandelier denoting the presence of Christ or the presence of God. The oranges in this window have some symbolism toward long life. The dog here, the dogs, if you know the history of the word Fido is fidelis. That means faithfulness. She's also symbolically pregnant. We don't know for sure if she's really pregnant or if it's a hope toward her becoming pregnant. They are becoming married in this particular picture. And also the lack of shoes shows that they're on holy ground, that they're in the presence of God. Okay? So a lot of symbols going on there. Many paintings have heavy iconography, especially religious paintings, and especially Asian works, I would say for sure. But also in, Renaissance, pre-Renaissance, there's a lot of symbols going on. Okay, to understand a work of art as created by an artist is referred to as context. We're looking here at a piece from an African linguist staff. It's the last piece. This is sort of like, not to put it down, but in a broom handle has sort of an end here, and then you put it on a wood staff, okay? Here's our context, very different. We tend, as Westerners, to put objects like this in museums in a glass case, and what this piece is really intended for is to be carried on a staff in a procession at certain rituals and ceremonies. A lot of cultures very frustrated with the Western world having taken a lot of their artwork, first of all, and second of all, to display it in a context. Some of these